traveled across the Atlantic to bring you Fox Sports' first event of the 1997 Champions Series. Welcome to Gelsenkirchen, Germany, an industrial town about a half-hour north of Dusseldorf. For the next 90 minutes, it's the business of skating as we bring you inside the Emscher Lippe Halle. Built on top of an old coal mine, of course, these competitors are digging for gold. Today, it's the Prime Star Skate International of Germany. Hi everyone, I'm Susie Culver. The Champions Series is indeed the showcase for the top Olympic-eligible skaters in the world, and you can bet they're gearing up for the games. This event here in Germany is the second of 6 stops that take us around the world and culminate with the Champions Series finals in Munich in December. Joining me for the ride, 2-time U.S. national ice dance champ Susie Wynn and Christopher Bird. Before the free skate, he not only won it, he received the first perfect 6 of his career. Here in Germany, a chance for another American to shine.
And in the men's short program, American Michael Weiss, it is his first competition of the year, skating conservatively in the short program, still has some big tricks planned for the long. Igor Pashkovich, the surprise here at this event, giving Elvis Stojko a run for his money, has the weapons of war to put some dents in the Stojko armor. And Dimitrenko, last year's series finalist, he also has the triple axel, triple toe-loop combination consistent and can do some real serious damage here today.
The favorite with the ladies who pose the biggest threat to their aspirations of Olympic gold are here.
Irina Slutskaya returned this season with a new, mature look, but struggled in the short program as she missed her combination. Not only did she miss the combination, but she bailed out, surprisingly, out of her triple loop jump. A very disappointing 5th place finish in the short program. And Germany's Tanja Szwechenko, out an entire season due to illness, returns and hits a beautiful triple Lutz double toe combination in her short program. She came well prepared and ready to compete. An emotional return to the ice as she places first after the short program.
But we know Irina Slutskaya is a real fighter, and she proved it in the free skate.
She got off to a shaky start in the short program, but comes back to land a dynamite combination.
She's really battling. She did a double loop jump in place of a triple loop jump, took a few steps, pulled off the triple loop jump. She seems to be very, very prepared physically for this upcoming year.
But no one could touch Tanja Szwechenko. She ignited the crowd, and her story is an amazing one. She's here competing for the first time in 19 months. 2 years ago, Tanja started to not feel well. She was diagnosed with a life-threatening virus. She continued to skate despite all of her physical problems, but by last November, she was getting weekly blood transfusions. Tanja missed the entire skating season and the Champions Series last year. In fact, there were times when she thought she would never skate again. But she's here, she's back, and in a big way.
Susie Wynn, it's hard for me to imagine. When I see this young lady, it seems like she's jumped out of the pages of Cosmo, not off of a hospital bed. She really is a beautiful, beautiful skater.
In practice all week, she just looked so happy to be back on the ice, and that warmth and that love of her sport came shining through.
Despite the time away, her stamina was superb. She looked strong and confident even toward the end.
She absolutely does. A few years ago, in general, Tanja would just concentrate on her jumps. And now it's as though the artistry and her presentation are very important to her. And she has this beautiful, extraordinary, willowy presence about her.
Now she sets up for the double axel. She just popped this a few feet earlier. Very nice.
And what a comeback.
Word for it.
Some heavy-duty competition. Yelena Berezhnaya and Anton Zikirolitsia in second after the short program. Their relationship is like something out of a novel. In January of '96, Yelena was seriously injured while practicing with her former partner. Anton, who had already fallen in love with her and left his former partner, went to Latvia and smuggled her back to Russia. He continued to help her through her recovery, and here they are.
Well, they really are the epitome of Russian classical pair skating.
Setting up side-by-side triple toe loops and success. They have been spot on all week with those. Split twist, one of the highest here in this competition, however, is so high that they're having a hard time making it into a triple jump. Program, it would be in the solo elements. Anton's been having a hard time hitting that double axel, so they singled it instead.
And here's the throw triple sow count. Tremendous amount of height, but she steps out of it. The one thing that's so wonderful is that they maintain the flow, the speed, and the control. Resume the choreography immediately if there are any small mistakes.
They skate with such great quality and great line, and they work together so well. Back position, very strong back on the overhead because his feet are so tidy as he lifts her above his head. Triple loop, beautiful, strong position on that landing. They've only been skating together for 2 years, and it's like they've been skating a lifetime together.
They're coached by legendary Tamara Masmina, who is known for putting teams together in a short time, and bang, they're Olympic champions.
And this couple definitely has the makings of an Olympic champion.
Absolutely, they're off to an awesome start in this series.
Deductions creep in.
And interestingly enough, their technique of jumping is much stronger than their technique of spinning when it comes to the side-by-side elements.
Tamara Moscovina noticed that Anton was having a hard time with the side-by-side spinning element. So they had Anton's eyes checked, and now he has contact lenses. So these spins should be getting better.
enter and exit those one-handed difficult lifts so well, so precise.
And another miraculous comeback. Elena Berezhnaya had brain and bone damage to her head, and look where she is now. This couple, well, they were second in the national championships, third in the European championships last year. They had trouble overcoming nervousness. I think they've gotten over that.
Now watch very carefully. Both feet are still on the ice here when she takes off. Beautiful position in the air, but the technically perfect triple loop jump, whether in pairs or singles, has to be taken off from one foot.
And here's the missed time side-by-side spin. Now this is where Witzel and Stoyer are going to be stronger.
And Susie, maybe those contact lenses aren't quite strong enough for Anton. Well, here are the scores for Berezhnaya and Zikra. Technical merit, 5 6s across the board. Their marks for presentation, 5 7s, a 5 6, and a 5 8 thrown in. So the pressure remains on the defending champs. Witzel and Stoyer perform their free program. The current world champs began skating in a city in East Germany called Karl-Marxstadt, on the same ice where Katharina Witt trained her way to 2 Olympic gold medals. 2 young skaters were being groomed under the communist system to be future champions.
I think it was a really good sports system, but it was maybe not so easy for us to live in a competition, because there were always somebody to watch you, and you cannot go out maybe for shopping or around the park without your coach.
The restrictive system, which gave them such excellent training, crumbled with the wall. It was an era of change in their country. Their city was now called Chemnitz, and they even joined the army to make ends meet. Overcoming these changes and injuries, they met with success soon after they teamed up. Combining the best from East and West, they bolted to the top of the skating world.
We can show what we learn in the old system, and we bring it over to the new system.
The '94 Olympics were to be their ultimate victory, but instead they would become the tragic symbols of the games.
We skate Olympics, and we feel good. The practice was okay, and then the fall and everything was over. And it was really, really bad for us.
In a split second, their dreams were dashed.
You wait to wake up from this dream, but then you came home and you have to say it's gone. It's coming back in 4 years. And that's a long time.
They didn't want to be remembered for that image. 3 years later, they reached the pinnacle of the sport. They struck double gold, winning last year's Champions Series final with their best performance ever. They also took the world title in what turned out to be a close finish.
I saw only on TV second place. I didn't saw the results, the complete results, the first place. And I was going out in the rain, and I was completely down. And then I came back, and they said to me, "You're the champ." And I couldn't believe. And then I saw Mandy, and he was happy.
As world champions, they enjoy a strong following in Germany. This year, they have the opportunity to win the one medal that slipped away, Olympic gold. Their positive attitude and perseverance propels them into the future.
Just go forward. Never look back, go forward.
With all the new notoriety, they haven't been able to train as hard as they like. They've had the outside distractions of being world champs and injuries. Ingo is coming off knee surgery that he had this summer. They really haven't been on the ice. They haven't been able to practice this program, although they do have plenty of confidence coming off a first-place finish in the short.
This program is last year's free program, and it was very wise and a good strategy for them to do it again. It's like an old friend. side-by-side triple toe loops all week, and they hit them again. No problems there. Very strong setup into their split triple twist. Beautiful landing. Brezhnaya and Zigorlidze had a rough time on their split twist. This is where Mandy and Ingo are a bit stronger.
They have beautiful style. Now they're going to set up the double axel side by side. She has singled hers. It looked as though she got out of his view for a second, and that just was enough to throw the timing, and was concerned about the synchronicity. Turned it to a single. Very well executed throw to Patolu. And this is where they begin to pick up the power again. Their speed by far the best in the Champions Series.
They too are a little bit mistimed in the transitions from the camel spin to the back sit. All of these little things will really count when they get to the Olympic Games.
Plenty of time to smooth out the rough edges. And in case you were wondering, Mandy and Ingo once were a romantic couple, but when they chose to be just skating partners, their performance really took off.
That's right, he said when their romance ended, then their skating success began.
Stepped out of the double toe loop. Very interesting combination, holding on to one another for the side-by-side split jumps. Sometimes some of the easier double jumps they can take for granted and make sometimes silly mistakes.
Double axel toward the end of their program, and they still look very strong.
I just love how she's so straight in the air, as if no one is even holding on to her or touching her body on takeoff.
Oh, and they must be relieved. So many nerves coming into this event. They hadn't practiced this. It is last year's program, but it's nice to be able to get back into the groove again. And at least this can build their confidence. A solid skate for the first time out.
The earlier double toe loop was taken for granted. Take a look at the side-by-side triples. She hits it. They both hit it incredibly well. Technically perfect, even by single skating standards.
And here you can see their very powerful throw triple toe loop. Little forward on the landing, but very good all the same.
And the technical marks, 5/8 and 5/7. And for presentation, well, that's tremendous for the first time out, 5/8 and 5/9. So Wutzel and Steuer defend their title here in Germany. Three-time world champion Elvis Stojko is not like other figure skaters. He is bold, aggressive, and a skater with an independent spirit.
I don't fit the mold of a typical, stereotypical figure skater. A lot of people always identify with a ballet style, very classical, where I've always been aggressive. I've always attacked everything that I wanted to do, not only in my style, but what I do in my life.
In a sport that is judged subjectively, straying from the familiar path is not always encouraged. But even after losing an Olympic gold medal due to criticism of his style, he stood his ground.
You know, some people might say I'm stubborn because I do it my own way, but why would you do it someone else's way? When you are an individual in yourself and believe in yourself and trusting that who you are is good enough to stand out there, not to follow anybody's footsteps.
Elvis has always set himself apart, especially with his technical feats, which have pushed the sport into new revolutions. Last year at the Champion Series finals, in front of a packed home Canadian crowd, he nailed the first quadruple toe loop, triple toe loop ever landed in competition. 7 turns in 2 seconds. Elvis isn't afraid to push the envelope.
Every time you step out on the ice, you always take a risk, no matter what you do. And I mean, we all take risks in life, in love, getting hurt, taking a risk when you're out there competing. You could fall and lose your placing, but that's what we take.
Elvis takes the risks, and last year took back the world title that he forfeited in '96 by going for another quad combination. His strength comes from a lifetime of experience and learning lessons from his losses.
I think one of the biggest things I learned who my best friend was, and that was me. And I can always rely on me when it comes right down to it, and trusting myself. And that was the biggest thing. You know, once that door shuts, you're there by yourself.
Elvis has separated himself from the crowd off the ice as well. He's the only Olympic-eligible skater with his own tour. Business meetings take up much of his off-ice time, but his strong will and focus drive him to the top.
I always said I never really had the talent. It was more or less the will and the determination to succeed and be the best that I can be at the sport.
Next up, men's free skate. The Prime Star Skate International of Germany continues from Gelsen. Everyone is gunning for the world champ. Nothing tougher than staying on top. Elvis tells us that he changed his long program 2 or 3 times, finally selecting music from the soundtrack Ghosts in the Darkness. Whether it be a jump, spin, footwork, everything's so crystal clear. Very well as he gets ready for a while to do that quad toe loop. So he's got a little rest period here.
Susie Wynn, I really like how much he's improved his style, cut his hair, streamlined his body. Very, very good look for Elvis Stojko.
He's always being criticized for always looking the same, but I think every year he comes back better and better.
And here's one of the things that make him the best in the world. Quadruple toe loop.
That was incredible.
Outstanding. He does it with such cleanliness on the landing, such conviction. It is now a mainstay in men's competitive figure skating.
And it still is really high in the air. It's not close to the ice. It's impressive.
Step out of that triple axel.
Elvis has a very short memory. If something doesn't go perfectly, he really stays on track.
Something to pay attention to in this program. He likes this music because it exhibits a flexibility, a change in speed and move.
And there's the other triple axel. He did combine it with the double toe loop because of the step out of the other triple axel that cannot be counted as a combination jump.
So funny when he says that he doesn't think that he was the most talented skater, but he just had a lot of focus and will. I think his martial arts background really helps him to keep that tremendous focus. He doesn't look tired at all. It's near the end of his program. He's an exceptional athlete.
And there it is. That's the program that Elvis will work on perfecting as he heads towards Nagano. First things first, it will play well in Canada, our next event in the series.
Let's take a look at this incredible quadruple toe loop. He reaches back with the left foot, vaults into the air 4 revolutions, a little leaning on the landing. His agility gets him out with lots of style.
And midpoint in the program, he hits his beautiful triple axel, little forward on the landing, into a double toe loop combination.
Let's take a look at the height of this triple flip jump. Watch how cleanly he executes the landing, not even moving a muscle with the head or the arms.
His scores for technical merit, 5.8s and 5.9s.
I think we'd see more 5.9s if he had a little bit more speed, but right now Elvis is pacing himself to peak at the Olympics.
And for presentation, 5.8s, 5.9s. Oh, we've got 1.57 in there now. Stars of skating are shining in Gelsenkirchen. The Prime Star Skate International Champion Series continues. American Michael Weiss on the ice. At 21, he's really growing up. He's taking that next step. Last year, he did his free skate to Santana. This year, it's Beethoven. He's digging deeper and telling a story.
dramatic opening. And the drama is about to unfold. The most difficult jump ever attempted in figure skating history. The quadruple Lutz jump. Reaches back with the right leg. No, and he does not complete it. He flips out. Two-footed, but recovers quite well with the choreography.
Triple axel, but he had a hard time on the triple toe loop.
Now watch how he sets up this triple flip jump from a mohawk. Very unorthodox, gives him a two-footed landing. Still combines it with a double toe loop.
What's so difficult this early in the year is to combine the difficult content and make it work with your artistic intention. But this program has great potential.
He was originally going to take a very classical approach to it, but after seeing the movie about Beethoven's life, he thought it was so interesting that he decided to get very dramatic with it.
A nice jump counter, difficult entrance into a double axel. He had wanted to do a triple axel there. He's playing it a little bit safe.
Jump. I love how the hands are extended, palms upward to the crowd. A reverse Wally jump into triple Salchow, very different combination. Extension on that landing. The triple Lutz jump into axel sit spin.
And the dramatic finish. It did have its mistakes, but he's poised to be the next big U.S. star. Christopher, does he have an honest shot at winning nationals this year?
Absolutely. American Todd Eldridge does not have to leave the door open for this young man. If he hits the quadruple Lutz, it's anyone's title.
And let's take a look at his very brave attempt at the quad Lutz. Falls short, but with a little bit more time, a little bit more mileage, who knows?
And this beautiful triple Lutz jump. Watch the right hand extended, left hand on the hip. artistically superb.
It is his first international competition of the year. His marks for technical merit range from 5.4 to 5.7.
They do seem a little bit low. I think what the judges are saying here is, don't go for the record books, go for the clean programs.
And for presentation, 5.7s, 5.6s, and a 5.8. Alexander Abt. In his very first event back in 1995, he finished third at Skate America, and then it's as if no one heard from him since. He was plagued by injuries. He had to sit out competition for almost 2 straight years. But now he's back. He's classically trained, although he's kind of modernized his program. His music has a Middle Eastern theme because his coach is Armenian and chose the music for him. Watching in practice how fast he covered the ice. He had such command over his stroking, and just his general skating was brilliant.
Here's the takeoff for the triple axel. Oh, he's fallen out of it, but he's combined it with a triple toe loop.
We get a little belly dancing with this one. It's a little raw, but it would be nice to see him making better use of the choreography there, actually. He's standing in spot. It would be nice if he incorporated it with some footwork and some steps.
Beautiful triple axel. I really feel he's having a lot of fun with this performance. It's kind of like Jim Carrey meets Aladdin.
Alexander is another one of the young guns from Russia, along with Ilya Kulik, Alexei Armanov, Alexei Agudin. They're all battling it out to make the Olympic team. Only 2 Russian men will go.
And interestingly enough, the point man of the Russian skating team oftentimes is not the one who prevails. The Russians are known for having tremendously great and gifted skaters on their back burners.
Triple loop. He's been off for such a long time with these injuries. It's great to see that he can really pull the technique back so quickly.
Now here he sets up the triple flip jump. Feet just not very together in the air, giving it that messy kind of appearance. Could present some problems for some of these landings. One of the problems I'm talking about presented by the feet. They need to be much neater than that to get the free foot out clean for a nice landing.
sloppiness is due to fatigue. He's getting a bit tired. It's tough to maintain that intensity when the music is driving and you've got so much technical content to match.
The program, very theatrical, very difficult. You can't step out of character for a second.
And that's a personal accomplishment. Out of competition for 2 straight years, he came back to finish 3rd at Skate America, and this is solid.
Now let's take a look at this triple axel combination. He just steps out of it. He turns, still goes for the triple toe loop, but that is neither a jump sequence or a combination jump. We're taking a look at the second triple axel. This is where it gets complicated. He hits this beautifully, but I have a feeling there's going to be a few judges that will not support this in the technical mark.
Now the genie, Alexander Abt, is out of the bottle. Heating the audience up to some Armenian dancing.
He's been a surprise to all of us here. 5th after the short program. We'll see if these scores can move him into the medals.
Well, very interesting marks. I see the Ukrainian judge, also the Hungarian judge has given him 5-5. I think they picked up on the triple axel discrepancy.
And for presentation, from 5-4 up to 5-8. Abt and his coach can overlook any of the little mistakes. Igor Paskevich of Azerbaijan on the ice and set to go. He really pulled it off in the short program. Had trouble getting his visa, didn't show up here until the last second, and came in second just behind Elvis Stojko, still putting on the pressure here in the free skate.
Sets up the triple axel jump. His hands drop down forward in front of his waist, pulling him a little bit off balance for that landing. Right away does his second triple axel. A little bent over on that landing, but the one good thing is the landings don't seem to disrupt the continuity or the flow of the program.
Recognize the Russian style. Igor was another one of those Russian young guns. In 96, though, they sent Ilya Kulik to Worlds instead of him. He thought he should have gone, so he went to Azerbaijan, and they were happy to have him, and now he's got what is like a free ticket to the Olympics.
Here he demonstrates great flexibility with some strength behind it. So he does a leg grab right into a spin with no push. Very difficult. He has such great quality to his skating. It would be disappointing if he didn't participate in the Olympics.
Choreography, light and effortless. And I think one important thing to point out for a men's event is that his costume is very well produced. Airbrushed from head to toe. Hand-painted and designed and jeweled.
The judges appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Christopher, does Paskevich have what it takes to knock Elvis out at first in this competition?
Well, I'll tell you from my own experience, you can't skate quite this safe. He's being very conservative. He does have an arsenal of triple jumps, as you can see, but it might not be enough to take out a reigning world champion.
I agree. He's lacking the intensity that Elvis has, especially in his face. You can really see him concentrating.
There, he's popped the triple loop jump, starting to tire. He resets up the triple loop jump. He hits it. Fantastic. He may not knock Elvis out of first place, but he's certainly not going to give it away either.
Igor Paskevich, the European silver medalist in 1996. Beautiful performance.
Okay, let's take a look at the triple axel jump. He starts to get really over-rotated with his upper body. Wide free leg, still enough to combine it with a double toe loop. He reaches back here for the triple Lutz jump. He vaults. A little bit forward on the landing. Free foot comes out wide. Still a clean landing.
And he enters into a leg grab spin. Very difficult because he doesn't get any preparation push prior to it.
Overall, a nice combination of choreography and jumps. His scores were technical merit, 5.6 to 5.8.
I think if he's someone who will attempt the quad, he can do it, and starts to go after it a little bit more in these early competitions of the series, he may have a chance to improve these marks.
And a wider range for presentation, 5.5 to 5.9. Not quite enough to overtake Elvis Stojko for first, but you can expect these two to meet again in the finals. Just a couple of mistakes can open the door. That's what happened to Michael Weiss. Dmitry Dimitrenko fell, and so did his standings. Philippe Candeloro of France fought back from